Oh, family, let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be accepted in thy sight. Talking about the ancestors and the creative force in the universe, man. Protecting the energy is so important to me. And I am proud to have my guest that's about to come up at the top of the hour right here on King Simon Presents Only Quality People. Family, do me a favor and please, please, please don't let me start sounding like James Brown up in these streets. Please, please like, subscribe, share, click the bell so you can be notified right here on our channel, man. And man, big things is happening. Just letting y'all know that, of course, you could always donate to the channel. Also, the platform over here, we got paypal.me/King Simon, Cash App, dollar sign, inspired by Team Chime, dollar sign, King Simon tab, and Venmo, and that's King Simon one. Oh, matter of fact, I got to remember to get my brother's Cash App so we can share that with y'all too, so we can show him some real love. You know what I'm saying? Want to definitely show. Matter of fact, you can text it to me right now, brother Lyte, and I'll put it up as soon as I get out of this commercial break. Now, family, um, let me let y'all know that we have our brother Lyte Burly. Oh Lordy, let's talk with Lyte Burly. You see how it rhymed? I made it happen. I made it rhyme, family. I made it rhyme. So we get ready to bring him on. Just want to remind y'all, tomorrow I'll be interviewing the great owner and legacy holder of Nicholas Brooklyn. You know, they're going through some stuff after 52 years. My sister's going through some stuff, and we're here to support her. And I want to make sure all of us support her in whatever we're doing, whatever she's doing, whatever we're doing. Um, and all of that. So Nicholas Brooklyn will be with us at a special report because y'all usually know I do my shows on Wednesdays, Sundays, and Tuesday. But this is a special because this is my sister for many years. I've known her since we was younger people. And February 16th is going to be that day. We're going to interview her. On the 18th, we got our brother Sensei Nathan Ingram also making his first appearance on my show, King Simon Presents, respecting the gift of life in martial arts. I think a lot of young people don't realize what many of these elders have been through in their life to make it to where they're at now. This brother was one of the first people that was first black man to be in a Chinese gang. People, that is incredible. So that's gonna be something. And going through the battles and the madness that was going on back in Chinatown back in his day. Oh man, the triad and all the gangs and all that. Believe me, I'm reading his book right now because I usually purchase a lot of these brothers' books. I didn't get Brother Burley's book yet. Didn't come into my mail yet because I realized it was in my cart, but I am going to get it. I got like 2 books in my cart already. But this that's going to be a great interview also. And I want to remind everybody that we are all heading to see our dear beloved Phyllis Yvonne Stickney. Y'all seen her on Women of Brewster Place. Y'all seen her on New Jack City. Y'all seen her. I interviewed her last week. Come on, February 27th, February 28th. We're going to be there at Stand Up New York at 221 West 46th Street. That's West 46th Street in Money Making Manhattan. So we're going to be there and not be square. We're going to have a good time over there. And just want to remind you the big martial arts seminar that's coming up and presentations happening, the Deadly Arts of Survival, coming up on March the 8th. So make sure you go to the website or call that number to find out more information. Brother Hanshi Khalik is doing his meeting with the masters, the day with the masters. And that's going to be powerful. And our beautiful sister, Professor Zahalia, is also doing her first annual Wildlife Defense Seminar. So can't wait to be a part of that. That's going to be beautiful. Also, big up to my sister, Denise Renee Muhammad. Make sure to change your life by changing your future. She helps with your credit. She helps with financial programming, ID theft, credit repair, all of the systems. I interviewed her also recently. And also Nicholas is doing a second annual purely holistic soul Expo on February 22nd, 2026. There's going to be a lot of things going down there from 12 to 6 p.m. It's absolutely free as long as you register, but the vendors will be in the building, and we're just trying to make sure our health is wealth and realize that. And make sure you get my books on Amazon. Of course, this is my children's book, Let We Tell the Story. Of course, Numerovation for Mental Stability, of course. And guess what, family? My new audiobook is now in the membership, exclusive membership on YouTube. Just go to my on YouTube and join the membership, and then go to the Numerovation audiobook, and that's where you'd have to pay and subscribe and be in part of the membership. Once you join that membership, you got access to it all across the board. But this one here, I just finished uploading it, so man, and I have the binary healing codes behind it while I'm talking. Very good. And thanks to my son, who is a producer and also a studio owner in Brooklyn. So big up to him, Prince of Magic. So, hey, it is what it is. All right, look, it is 8:02 right now. So, man, I got to read my man's bio. Okay, I cannot come up here and not read my man's bio. First of all, I got a brief bio of him. Lyte Burly has been practicing various martial arts style with a heavy focus on boxing for over 3 decades. He applies his knowledge daily by sparring with practitioners from different styles and backgrounds, one of a few masters that are always willing to put on the gloves to spar with strangers. He has put in thousands of hours of training and continue to do so. We want to welcome, first time on our platform, man. This is our brother, man. Oh, Lordy, what's work? You know, this is our brother. I got to give him a well-done. What's up, brother?
What's up? What it be? What it be? You here?
Man.
Thank you for that introduction.
Man, that's what I do, bro. First and foremost, man, honors to see you up here, man. And thank you so much for being a part of the journey right here on King Simon Presents Only Quality People, man. And, you know, let me put your information. You got, what's your Cash App, just in case?
$, Jamar R. Clark.
Oh, you want to put that up there? Okay. All right.
Put it up there. Maybe some donations. We accept all donations.
That's what I'm talking about. Hold on. Let me make sure. I want to make sure people take care of you in any way they can, even after the people watching the show. Let me spell that out. That's dollar. Hold on one second. $. Go ahead. $. What?
JAMAR.
JAMAR.
Big R. CLARK.
BR.
Capital R.
Capital R. Okay. BURL. What?
JAMAR.
Yes.
Capital R. CLARK. Clark.
Oh, CLARK. Clark. Okay, got it. Now I got your Cash App. I'm putting the Cash App right now. Then I'm gonna put it in the live chat so we can pin it to the top of the chat so people can also show respect that way too. Okay, great. Man, welcome to my show, man. How's the family? How's everybody going?
Everything is great right now. You know, the universe is buzzing. The internet is buzzing. You know,
man,
buzzing.
You got it buzzing. You got people in their feelings, sir.
Yeah. You know, facts over feelings, but you know, when you in your feelings, you get motivated to do better, and that's what it's about. You know, especially for my melanated people. You know,
man, and you are absolutely right. Because from the time I started watching your videos, I said, you know what, he is absolutely right. Because I remember being attacked on streets. And believe me, there was no technique to be applied. It was we either punched them or kicked them.
That's
and
it.
Sure enough, I remember a crackhead attacking me on Union Square in New York.
Oh,
are you ever been to New York? You've been?
I'm from New York. I met you in New York. Yes, sir.
You from New York?
Yes.
Yeah. So, which part you from? Queens?
Brooklyn.
Are you from? Oh, you love
Brooklyn. I say I'm from Brooklyn because I was born there and raised, but
me
then
too.
I moved to Manhattan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which part of Brooklyn you from?
Ocean Avenue, Flatbush.
Oh, that's where I'm from, bro. That's where
there you go, Flatbush in the house.
I went to Erasmus, man.
Ralph Avenue, baby.
Yo, I went to Erasmus, man. Yo, crazy back in the day. So you know, which high school you went to?
Oh, I ended up going. I ended up going to high school in Manhattan. I went to Brandeis High School.
You went to Brandeis? Yo, I was at Martin Luther King.
Wow, wow. Well, before that, I was at what was that Park High? What was that? The right cross street from high school and the high school graphics Park High, I think it was. But yo, that school was crazy.
I remember what you're talking about. Yeah.
That school was crazy.
Them days was something else.
That's when the Decepticons was out there
exactly
over the head with hammers. You had to take the scenic route to the C train. It was so serious. It was so serious.
People don't know. It was crazy with the Decepticons and all the craziness back in the day. Oh my goodness, man. I remember hearing about those and doing those things. I think I'm a little older than you. I'm 59, so
yeah, I'm 52. So
I was there right when the Jolly Stompers, and I was growing up with those guys and Young Skulls and Savage Skulls.
Okay, so you already know.
We was going in. Oh my goodness. So, woo, man. So, man, you know, a lot of people don't realize how important it is that the difference between dojo training, street fighting training, and competition training. There is a difference.
Yes.
And even when you do this on the street, there is a difference when it comes to the attack. This is not being formal. And before I go into there, what got you into self-defense, self-offense, all the training into 52s and all the different styles you went into? What got you in and when did you start?
Well, I started, after I left Brooklyn and moved to Manhattan. My next stop was Far Rockaway, Queens.
Oh, you went to Far Rock?
Yeah, yes, you already know.
Oh, no, I was on best ones.
Yeah, Queens don't get a lot of respect for how much work they put in with 52. We just hear Brooklyn a lot.
Yeah.
But Queens, Brooklyn and Queens being so close, the brothers in Queens, my cousins, they was on it. They was 5%ers. So they was about their business. You know what I'm saying? So I was introduced to 52 when I was like 12 years old from my cousins and one of the guards named True Guard. I had seen them use a technique that I know that in my system is triangle trade.
Right.
And he was arguing with a brother and he did the move and moved his hat. And the brother took his eye off him for a second. He stole on him. And I was like, oh, I like that. Just the deception of it was like, it wasn't just a regular steal off. It had a little deception before it. And I was locked in ever since. And, my cousins kind of raised me on that style of fighting. And
yes.
I got into other arts and stuff. But 52 was primarily my first art that I started really having interest in.
And I'm glad you came from Brooklyn, like myself, born in Brooklyn Jewish Hospital. I was born in that hospital there, man. And interesting enough, that's where it was introduced to me on the streets also, because we was doing slap boxing and all that kind of stuff. And then people that came out of prison would come and talk about jailhouse rock and all that kind of stuff. And we was getting into that. So, I had one of my friends he had some fast hands. Big up to Sylvester Jr. He had some fast hands. He always used to smack the hell out of me. He got in and just popped and just got me. I'm like, man, so we used to have to practice all the time.
Yes.
And remember, we used to go watch those movies, the Bruce Lee movies and all that kind of stuff, and then come back out and try all them different techniques that we see.
All day. Now, slap boxing was the training method. That's
exactly.
Brothers trained their reaction time for blocks and slaps. And we would slap boxing for hours, get the skin slapped off your face.
Yep. I remember all of that. I think I still feel a few of them.
Handprints and all of that. It was serious business. And I'm light skinned, so I was going upstairs with the prints on my face, and we had to get it in.
One of my guys in the crew was a light skinned dude, so when he got smacked, he got real red, man. He got the Easy E, my brother Eric, man. But his brother introduced us to Wing Chun, and we got into that too from young and all, watching all those movies. So, like I said earlier about the differences of different tournament styles on the street and all that, because, you show, and I want to show a video real quick before we go in, because, I got one of your videos lined up.
Let it roll. Go to the videotape.
Let's go to the videotape.
Yes, sir.
Hold on 1 second, family. We gotta go to the videotape before I get into the rest of this conversation, because this brother has been putting it in when it comes to these videos, son. Y'all don't even understand. Hold on, let me share screen real quick. Go to Facebook. All right, there we go. Hold on, let's share screen. Make sure it comes up. There you go. Here's one, and this one, you know, he's the master of I'm your Huckleberry, and he's the master of Oh Lordy, let's work. Let's get ready for this one. Check this out.
I'm your Huckleberry. That's just my game.
Oh, Lordy, let's work. Now look at this man's hand position. Look at them elbows. His elbows are too far from his body right there. This is how I know he don't know nothing about boo-bopping. Now he tries to let him off the hook, and he comes in with that still boo-bop. He said, I tried to let you off the hook, and now I got to make snow angels with you. That's right. It's time to hit you with that. It's about to make some snow angel boo-bops with your face. That's right. I know to make snow angels with your face boo-bop when I see it. And look at this. He going to the back of the head. That's illegal. That's rabbit boo-bopping. Yeah. But he's so mad because he tried to let him off the hook. Good thing is they fighting in the snow, so he ain't gonna feel none of this. That's right, he got a little cold going on, so he may not feel none of them boo-bops. But now he upset, but it's too late. He tried to let you go, and you came with that bad hand position, and he had to make snow angels with your face using the boo-bop. Yeah.
My brother.
There can only be one.
I can't. Yo, every time I see your video, I be dying laughing. And I always comment like, yo, I show love, man.
Yeah, salute. I appreciate it, man. You know, with martial artists, we sometimes get too serious, man. Somebody had to bring some humor, make it a little lighthearted with it, and at the same time talk about the do's and don'ts of actual real fighting, like the fundamentals.
And I had to bring that up. Family, please show him love. You got a Cash App here, $ Jamar R. Clark. Also, his email. You can email him if you want to contact his website, get all of his products, all the products, the shirts, the hats, all of that over there. You know, but this brother's a celebrity trainer, entrepreneur, 52 box master, and in various styles and all that. But, bro, those videos have inspired me to even train in the snow again, because we used to do it back in the day.
Facts.
To get back into the snow, doing my push-ups and fingers, so you can get used to being on that floor. Even when we flying and doing rollouts, you got to learn how to train on different terrains.
Right, uncomfortability.
Exactly, and learning how to adapt to these different. Because I remember in Canada, my brother, I was in Montreal. I used to train with a Shotokan teacher and a Arnis teacher and a Taekwondo teacher, but I still had Sanukas with me. And a car ran the corner and almost hit me. I did a flying rollout. I had to get away from the car.
Okay.
And so I knew it worked. I said, yo, rollouts saved my life.
Yeah.
And those type of things, they work in real time if you know how to move, you know, and your, like you said, reaction time on your video.
Right.
Reaction time.
That's right.
For you to put up those type of videos, I don't know where you find them at, but
it started off as something fun, but now my DMs stay full of them. People send me videos like, yo, we need you on this one.
yeah. I sent you a few before too. So what made you decide to go down the road to show the street fighting compared to what's happening in the quote unquote dojos or the boxing rings of the world? What made you decide to go down that road to put that out there?
That's a dope question. Well, it was because the reality of fighting is harder than what the dojos make it.
Right.
And I think there needed to be a spotlight on that because, you know, it's easy to fall into the fantasy fool. And I say fantasy fool meaning you believe you're always the winner.
Right.
And, you know, like I think Willie D said something about like brothers don't go to the club that want to start nonsense and say, call their mother and say, yeah, I'm about to go to the club. I'm gonna start some nonsense. I'm probably gonna get unalived. So put me when you put me in the casket, put me in that blue suit. Make sure like nobody does that because you always believe yourself to be the winner.
Exactly.
And I think the performative arts and the dojo arts, they're always the winner. The only person losing is the uki. You know what I'm saying? Like the only person that's always getting his ass whooped is the uki. So I was like, you know what? I want to show that fighting is really not that easy. It's chaos defined. It's organized confusion. And you have to get used to that to make any technique work. Like techniques a dime a dozen.
Right.
But to make a technique work, you need the fundamentals. And one of the fundamentals is being able to deal with chaos. So I was like, you know, I'm going to show you that, you know, I wanted to show that street fights don't go the way you want. Ain't nobody, everybody fighting for their life. Ain't nobody going to dance with you. They're not going to give you what you want. You got to be able to, you know, adapt to the situation.
That's right. And you're absolutely right, because I remember, you know, I used to be a club MC, owner of a club, used to work security and all that stuff. And I had Shion Rame up here, and he used to run no club. Him and Glenn Beck used to run them clubs in Brooklyn. A club fight, when it goes down in a brawl like that, there's no real techniques you can do other than by the time you catch them, you could put them in a lock, all of that. But they come in with all their brawl. They come in with all their bravado. Everybody, and some people could have Moet bottles. I had to stop a dude from hitting a girl with a Moet bottle one time. But he didn't see me coming, but I'm moving. And that's how, you know, that's how volatile a club life or street can be if you don't understand the nuances of how to stay alert, be aware, and move fast, reaction time, like you always stress, man. And I really, that's why I really love your videos. And sometimes I talk to some of the brothers and say, yo, don't get angry at that, man.
I done made a lot of people mad. You know, I'm not one of the favorite martial artists, but somebody got to do it.
I know, and somebody do, but it just helps us, people like you, especially in this day and time of social media era, helps people to step up their game. Show the real on the streets. Show it even in the dojo. Sometimes, you know, I know you're teaching children, you can't show them everything. But I remember, like, my son went to school with a knife because he was being bothered. And I said, when the teacher called us, parent teacher, when the principal called us, I took him home. I said, bro, you have all the weapons you have in your bag. You didn't need to pull out the cut. You got a pencil. You got a pen, you got a book, edge, you got to know how to use your bag if somebody's throwing something. You know how to block with the bag, and you got to know how to run.
There you go. Yeah, one of the most estimated techniques. Pick up some dust. You got to know how to kick that dust up.
Fight or flight. You got a bunch of them chains. Fight or flight.
Right.
So when I see you talking about that again in the streets, it's so deep, man. And you know, your videos are very healing to the mind, but also very revealing to the mind. To let us know that, yo, you could be on the street, anything could happen. The boobop can come any old way, out of nowhere.
Anywhere. That's right.
And when I see you training with your students and your people, and of course celebrities, and we're going to talk about that, I wonder, do they know how? I know you stress the importance of footwork. Please tell the audience why it's so important to have good footwork, not just in the dojo, not just in the street, but everywhere you at, even in your house. Because if you're attacked in your house, you're going to have good footwork.
That's right.
Please.
Well, you know, the feet carry the ass, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
You want to get that ass kicked.
When your feet go, your ass goes. So if your feet are stuck, your ass is stuck. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, you know what I'm saying? The key for 100 is possible. Like Tommy Lauren, I think it was Tommy Lauren, one of the great boxers. He says, I remember, he says, it's my feet that's most important because they carry me to and from the battle.
That's right. That's right.
You know, so if your feet don't have intelligence, you not only do you not have the intelligence for your hands to do what they need to do, because your hands, if your feet are not working, your hands are doing like two jobs. Like your hands are really your feelers, your deception, like the hands are quicker than the eye. That's the job they need to be on. But if your feet are stuck in the mud, they got to play two jobs, and it usually goes wrong for people. And so I teach a lot of foot intelligence. I believe that your feet have to be on Einstein so your hands can do the boo-bopping that they need to do. They're free to do their game. And so we spend like, you know, a lot of people that come to train with me, they want to learn these blocks, and it's like I can't teach you nothing. None of that means nothing because your knees are locked out, you're flat-footed.
Right.
You know, you have no feet intelligence. They're dumb. Like there's no reason to teach you a block. Like you're gonna get caught. So you know, I believe the foundation of the house is more important than the house itself, right? Like you can have a fly ass house built on a bag foundation, the wind blow, and it slide down the hill. Or you can have a good foundation and you can build any house. And that's where we start first, is the foundation, which is your feet.
And you know, and I'm glad you talked, because in a lot of dojos and boxing training camps, they do teach the importance of the feet. They also help to develop your core and do a lot of leg workout and a lot of moves. And I like that you showed that video of the guys in the jailhouse doing their thing and moving and hitting and striking, and they was just doing. They all hooded up. They all have a face that they don't want to show their face,
just to show you can get that work no matter where you at. No excuses. No excuses.
Exactly.
No excuses.
So I love that guy should be given an awards for doing
I feel like definitely he needs a plaque for that.
Yeah, because I used to teach in correctional facilities. I don't know if you remember Crossroads over there in East New York, Pitkin, man. Back in those, that was called Crossroads for young people that used to come through the juvenile facility back in the day. But I used to teach, and they used to invite me to come and speak to the young people. But and you got some young killers in there. You had some young killers. They went to jail 12 years old for killing. I met a few of them people. So you know, back in the day, they used to call it jailhouse, showboating, all that kind of stuff. What have evolved? Because a lot of people have a misconception that it started in prison.
Yeah,
I wanted to go there. I know it's been evolved in prison, but did it start in prison from your perspective? Yeah,
no,
please.
It did not start in prison. Not at all. I think the prison thing is a selling point. Like when you go on YouTube, like one of the genres of YouTube that always consistently gets hit is brothers coming home from jail talking about what's going on in jail.
Right.
And for the people who haven't been to jail or haven't committed any crimes, and that's cool. Stay like that. Stay out that white man's prison. It's interesting. So it's a big selling point for most people, but it did not start there. It started with the black boxers, the Jack Johnson, the Joe Gans, you know, the Sam Langfords, George Dixons. You know, that's where it originally started from, and then it filtered into the streets, and then you know you have the 5% Nation. Yes. But one of the biggest connections that 52 has with jail is that black men went to jail. Like the 5% Nation, you know, no disrespect to the nation, but they were criminals. They were criminals. They weren't like not trying to do crimes. They was out there with me. So I seen them.
I'm glad I didn't do crime while I was in there. That's for sure.
Yeah, like I see you out here with me. You know, so that's the connection 52 had with jail, is that those brothers went to jail with the knowledge already. Now what they may have did when they got in there is you know, kind of tailored it to, you know, for smaller areas, because you ain't got that much space to move around in. But it did not start there. It just went through there, you know. It just had a brief stay in there. So but like I said, a lot of people try to connect it there, and I'm constantly defeating that myth. Anytime I hear it, I put that myth to rest, because you know, there's no reason that the melanated man's art has to be a prison art. Like, you know, prison don't create nothing but convicts, and you know, it is what it is.
No, and I'm glad for you and people like Master Mo that keep on emphasizing that type of, you know, that it's not always, because even when you're teaching children, you can't just say this is the jailhouse.
Yeah, how you going to teach them? Like, you're going to teach them this is how you hold the shiv. Like, where we going with this?
And you know, in the 5%, we know the five represented the power, and the 2 represented the wisdom, and the 7 represented God that added up to. So when you're doing it, it's like, you know, and when you're learning it from that perspective, from a mathematical, because Islam is mathematics, mathematics is Islam. So I could always prove at any given time. So I understood that because I was in the 5% from 14. So that's where we was introduced to a lot of that. Yeah, you know, movements and stuff in Martin Luther King High School and all of that. We was out there, bro. We was out there, you know, back in those days. So, and I have a son and a few people from the Marines that are special forces and all that kind of stuff. And you know, he looked at it and he said, "Yeah, pops, that's good. But when you on survival, we gonna walk right through you. The special forces don't play. They gonna walk right through all of that because." And that's what he said to me. He said, "Oh," I said, "Oh, okay." I say, and I didn't even because he went through his training. I got it. So, what do you think about some people that's trained to survive in any environment and move through people when it comes to that war fight, that fight on the street fight, wherever they at, any terrain? What do you think about those military men that might be? They think that way.
That has to be the spirit of the warrior.
Yeah, that's
you know, not more just the technique. That's just the spirit of the warrior.
Right.
You know, so and that's a great thing to have. But you know, I just did a video on the connection is body, mind, spirit.
Yes.
You know, the body and the mind build the house of the spirit. So if your techniques are good, if your strategy is good, your spirit will be stronger. You can have a spirit of I'm gonna move through them. And when you look at the military, the discipline, the constant training, they're going through, the mind games they're putting them through to have a strong mind. Like I looked at I think it was that Surviving the Cut series they had.
Yes.
Brothers that made it weren't the brothers with the big muscles.
Exactly.
It was guys that like me and you, but they had strong minds.
Yes, exactly.
You know, so that's the spirit of the warrior, and that's good to have. But you know, you also got to have the technique and the mental side to go into that. You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I love.
I think it's just like, you know, the fight is going to be a bunch of hand flapping. That's not 52. That's like the, you know, I do a videos called 52 block shadow blocking. Just for muscle memory.
Yes.
You may see like one skull and bones, and then I'm gonna hit you with 18 boobops. Like you're not gonna see an African dance. Like I don't know what's wrong with these brothers. Like, no. I mean, once I defend one time and twice, it's time to open up on you.
Right. And you know, that's what I admired about what you said to me on the phone. And I'm a person, I call people behind the scene. I don't do videos on you and do all that kind of stuff because I disagree with you. I say, hey, let me hit you up on Facebook. Men supposed to, that's what men do. That's what we don't argue and talk. And I asked you respectfully, why are you doing it? And you said, yo, and I put out your post. I said, yo, maybe we need to do an underground thing. And you said, it came out, said, yo, it's about the man. It's not about the system. Explain that from your perspective. What does it mean? It's about the man or the person that's holding that system, not about the system itself. Please explain.
Well, you know, I get a lot of people that see these videos and they're like, hey, like, don't you think this technique works? And I was like, no technique works. Nothing works. Boxing doesn't work. Muay Thai doesn't work. You know, men work. And through men, these systems thrive or they live. Yes. So it's not the question of does the system work, is do you work? Because just because you take boxing once a week don't make you a boxer. Just because you take a Muay Thai class once every 6 months don't make you a Muay Thai man or a wrestling man. Like you have to work to make the system work. By yourself, the system is just a bunch of ideas gathered by men that, you know, that fought, and that's it. So no system works. It's only the man that works.
And that's people, you gotta again, this brother, you gotta follow him on all social media because he teaches the real in regards to understanding between the man and the system. And that's true because even the movie Rocky was all about the eye of the tiger.
That's right.
If you don't have the eye of the tiger, you'd be washed up on them streets.
Washed up.
But they're predators.
Yes, I seen karate men get washed like dirty laundry by a guy throwing haymakers, but he had the eye of the tiger. Them haymakers he could have raised 12 horses off them haymakers he was throwing. He was a maker of hay, and you know this man's supposed to be technical, just got washed up. What happened? You know, so the spirit of the warrior is different. Like you gotta, if the man ain't working, then the system ain't going to show his true self.
You know, and why do you think now that Hollywood is coming towards y'all now? Because back in the day, you know, we watch Jack Johnson, and I know they didn't call it 52 back in the day, especially George Foreman used to block like this back in the day and all that. You know, they used to make those moves. And why do you think Hollywood is now coming towards the 52 concept and situation that y'all been putting out there for a long time?
Well, I got to put it, you know, not to blow my own horn, but you know, I got to do it. You know, it's because of the work like Burly did. You know, I systemized it.
Exactly.
52 blocks was never truly a full system. It was a couple of, some brothers had 3 moves, some brothers had 5 moves, but no one systemized it. So without a system, you can't really have a kata, and a kata that can be broken down into muscle memory that can now be brought to, you know, the movie screen, like in the other arts, like Wing Chun has a kata, karate, all these arts had katas. If karate only had 2, 3 moves, it would have never made it. So I believe that the movie world is seeing it now from what the work that your boy did. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was the first one to bring it to the internet. I was the first one to tell people, come to the park if you don't believe it's real, and we can tussle on concrete, you know, all, and still have respect. You know what I'm saying? Like, it still can be a respect thing. It doesn't have to be a, you know, death kill. But I was prepared to stand out there and prove that, you know, not only does this system of defense works, but it's applicable to other martial arts, you know, because that's what 52 really is. 52 is the shield. It's, you know, it's you know, you can sharpen your sword and you can harden your shield. 52 is the hardening of the shield. And because of that, 52 blocks can be used with any offensive system, you know, whether it's Muay Thai, boxing. Like, people think just because I put a lot of emphasis on boxing that's all it is. It's like, no, you know, it could be used with wrestling, it could be used with grappling, kicking, fighting, rock fighting. Whatever you trying to get your, you know, whatever you trying to get your offense on it. But that, to me, is what makes it such a important style to it. And then the principle, you know, is that self-preservation is the highest form of fighting. Before, like Mike said, everybody got a plan till you get punched in the face.
That's right.
So how you keep your plan? Defense. That's how you keep the plan in your head. You don't take all of them boo bops to your abladula magabla. You can't just be eating boo bops like Tic Tacs out there. You got to know how to slip a couple, block a few, and then get your offense going.
And family, I'm showing his YouTube channel right now, 52 Blocks Info. Make sure y'all support his YouTube channel, man. And he got a lot. I do want to show him training with my man Jonathan Major, Kang himself. Hold on one second. Let me show y'all him training. I'm gonna have to turn off the music because I don't want the YouTube to slice me up. But they'll mess me up out here.
I know.
They hold on. There it goes. Let me show y'all. He's training with the one, the only Jonathan Majors, superstar in his own right. So let's do it. There he goes. There you go. There you go. All right. Major Burly.
Major Burly, great brother. Salute to Major Burly. Like, you know.
Good. Yeah. Which movie is he coming out with that? Which movie is he going in with that?
Well, the movie is True Threat now. They're still working on some of the funding. Like, I thought we was going to be more in production right now, but you know, dollars over cents. So they putting the dollars together to make it a real thing. And
good.
You know, hopefully it don't get washed away. But either if it does, just the chance to work with Jonathan Major, I'm talking about a dope brother, man. Like that's a dope brother, man. He was open, you know, when I was like, yo, I want to do a video of you. He was just like, whatever you want to do, sensei. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, certain of them stars, they standoffish, but not him. And salute to Snoop, you know, Felicia from The Wire.
Okay.
Her, great, you know what I'm saying, great personality and all that. So salute to Snoop. And
man, no, I'm here showing it all.
And I got a chance to meet Luda through my brother Diallo, you know. Nice training session with Luda too. Salute to Luda.
And you know, I'm glad you brought up our great late brother Diallo, man. You know, his passing was definitely tremendous. That's funny, when he came up, I said, man, I just got his book too. And it was in my archives because I was using it and studying and watching and reading. Cause I buy everybody's books because I'm a journalist first, and I used to be on WWRL radio in New York. So watching, you know, what was it like to lose such a great brother like?
Man, like, you know, like that. You know, that brother, he shared this fortune with me. Like, you know, his fortune was connection to Ludacris and Lorenz Tate.
Yes.
And he didn't have to do that. You know, he reached out to me and he was like, yo, I want you to come to Cali And when I came out there, real brother, he didn't just take me to meet Luda. He had to meet me first.
Right.
We were at the bar, and he had the young YNs with him. They looked like they was they was ready for business. Like if I would have tried something silly, we would have had to rock and roll. So I'm taking in his vibe. He taking in my vibe. The next morning, he hit me with an address. He said, "Go to this address. Be there at 12." And it was to set a fear factor.
Okay.
I seen Luda. And soon as Luda got off the set, he was like, "Lyte Burly was good. I watch all of your videos. Salute to you."
Wow.
That meant a lot to me.
Wow.
That was actually locked into what I was doing. And it was through Diallo that made that happen. And the last month with my brother, in physical form, he told me what he was going through and told me to keep it to myself. And I did. And I would reach out to him, every week or so, every 2 weeks, like, "Yo, we still here?" And he would respond until to the one time he didn't respond.
Wow.
And they put up the notice. So
in
the game of 52, there's very few people I recognize. I believe a lot of dudes is, I'm just going to just be who I am. I believe they're frauds. So there's only 2 people I would recognize other than myself, and that's Sensei Mo and Diallo Frazier. And I would always tell Sensei Mo, we are the 3-headed Hydra.
Right.
And now down to the 2-headed Hydra. And I do, every move going forward is for my brother Diallo and his name.
But I found that strange because I'm showing your video of you doing the 52 and different techniques right now. Give thanks from family. Please follow him, of course, his website, everything to get all the digital downloads, all of that. It's all here, pinned to the top of the chat. And those that watch it later that can't watch it today, it's up at this time. It's all cool. This people is gonna run. I don't put my interviews in my membership. So again, family, this is I want y'all to really consider taking some classes. Cause I took some classes, brief class with you when you was at Master Mo's in the backyard area. I was there. Big up to everybody that was there. Thank you so much for showing those little techniques that you offered, because that means a lot, especially when you practice it over. But you said something about recognizing them, and and this might be controversial, family, but y'all know I'm not about controversy and the troll, and y'all know me. Y'all know how I am on my channel. That's why it's called King Simon Presents Only Quality People. Absolutely. I met Mr. 52, and I met him with. It was introduced me by Master Mo, Professor Mo. He was at the Harlem Week, and we all took pictures. So when you say that, I thought he was legit. Is he a legit? Let's say, is he?
He is a legit 52 practitioner.
Okay, that's all.
Me and him used to spar.
Okay.
Friday, What I mean by recognition is those that are trying to take the art and move it in the positive.
Advance it up. Okay.
I me and him eventually got into it, because of the way, because of his energy, his ego.
Yeah,
I can't leave him out of my story. I can't erase him from my story. He was there. He was one of the brothers I looked up to. And
so you have, I guess you and people like Master Mo and Master Diallo probably had a problem with people keeping it in the gutter.
Yeah.
Okay. I got it. I heard that story behind the scenes too.
Yeah.
I want to show respect, and I mean, he could elevate. Maybe in time he'll elevate whatever, but I still respect him. I still respect him
for sure. Like we got family members connected, and we got a lot of history. Right. So I try to, even when I go at them, it's all through jokes and love. Right. I have family members reach out to me like, "Yo, can you chill?" And I was like, "All right, I'll fall." Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's all respect to the brother, and hopefully he can come around, because there was a time when he was different. He wasn't the brother he became, and everybody got their own demons to fight. Yeah. But there was one time where it was just about the art, and we would spar for slap box for hours, man. Wow. So
no, because he was a cool brother when I met him. So I never. That's why I was kind of puzzled when I said, wait a minute, he was a cool brother. Matter of fact, I met him at Harlem Harlem right there. So so I pray for the brother.
That's right.
Whatever he's going through, pray for anybody that's going. Sister Onika, I don't see her out there. Anika Bourne she used to be. Sensei Cheryl, a lot of them that's doing that. That big up to them. She's been on my show. She used to be a co-host on my Soul Sensei Cheryl, who's also into the 52s.
Yeah,
and man, man, Angela, Dr. Angela Moulton, she loves you, man. She always tells she shouts you out. She said, I gotta see him. I can't. Her and her husband Wayne. So
salute.
Man, no, you've touched a lot of people, and I'm happy that you are moving the legacy of Lyte Burly and 52, and you and Master Mo are moving it along, man. And no matter what style y'all have taken on, y'all know how to add, because even when training with watching Dr. Moses Powell, you see he'll use 50 as he'll use a certain move. So I knew he knew about it,
I'm pretty sure he did.
He definitely, him and Soke Little John, because they was
dude right there,
that's family.
Soke Little John, that's family. Night for nothing. He used to send me a lot of videos like, get him Lyte.
Of course.
Because them brothers is from the old days of scrapping. Like, I met Soke Little John. I don't know if you remember me, but he was at the PAL, and I ran to the PAL to meet him. He's one of the real, black melanated warriors. So salute to him that he's still alive and kicking. And
who got disqualified in certain tournaments.
Yes, the real deal.
And Doc never liked tournaments, as I was told, and I heard him from his mouth. He never liked tournaments, but I was told that when Worlds Collide, he never liked tournaments, getting into that conference, because being street tested and battle tested, especially back in the 60s and 70s, and those was crazy back in those days. People don't realize we're young to them. These guys with a Cofield or the Puppet, they battled on these streets, yo.
Yes, correct.
And they came out of the military. Master Duncan, they came out of the military, some of these dudes. So, watching and even training with Master Duncan, man, he one time he turned off the lights and told us to fight. And that was my first time. We was in Queens at where he used to train. He turned off the lights. And that's when we realized that, this dude is real, because lights do go out. Other than you getting knocked out, lights do go out.
You ain't always got to fight with the lights on. Sometimes you got to use the force. Correct.
So what do you see now in the martial arts world that there might be an issue, especially bringing up young people into this? Because, young people are getting them boo-bops out there in them streets. They're getting beat down by a whole bunch of people. Sometimes, you remember Flatbush used to be the king of the bum rush back in the day.
You already know.
So if that's the case, what would you suggest dojos or other schools or people that want to learn street fighting or learn how to do 52? What would you suggest to the young people nowadays that still might be having to go out there and have to defend themselves on them streets?
Well, I'm a big advocate for sparring, because sparring is that, like, you can learn a lot of technique, but you also have your nervous system that you got to deal with when it comes to fighting, and that means like being able to take a punch and keep going, able to be in pain and keep going. And sparring is the only simulation we have of the thing. It is not the thing, but it's the simulation that brings you close to the thing. So I always advocate, like, whatever technique you're learning, you should be sparring with it. Like, this is why boxers were so deadly, because they're doing 15 rounds of punching each other in the face. It's not just the technique, is that they're learning to absorb pain and keep going. And throw back. And you cannot learn that in no technique, with no uki that's participating with you. I get that hit. You can't get that hit. You can't touch that adrenaline in you. To that's gonna happen when you in them streets. So I'm always an advocate of sparring, and a lot of these performative martial arts, what I call them, they don't do enough sparring, and they do this John Wick nonsense, and just like, you know what I'm saying, and they got a lot of people fooled. So as long as Lyte Burly walk this earth, I'm gonna call them out on it. And I'm mad, but everybody knows my own, how I get down. Like, if you feel some sort of way, you can always get in the ring with the bear. And try that John Wick shit on me, and I'm going to ruin your fantasy and show you the reality that you have to be engaging with another human being. If you plan on fighting humans, you should be engaging with humans. Like, you don't fight with a tiger to learn how to fight a human. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be sparring humans and understanding how they move and how to see the window. And you know, so I'm a big advocate for that. I would say that's one thing I see a lot of the performative martial arts are missing.
Right, and I'm showing one of your clips from YouTube on Facebook.
Yeah, that's
I gotta show you.
Mile High Club. I was in the Mile High Club. I said, I take it to the plane.
I gotta show you because you keep it tight.
Yeah, that's right.
You took it in the plane. I said
tight space. I'm ready to go.
Exactly. That's what I love. I love that.
Put the mask on because I don't know how the FCC feel about that.
Because those are the things that Soke Little John taught, Anthony Muhammad. They taught us to be in the tight. You know, a lot of stuff you see online is only online for tournaments and all that. But they taught us to be tight. Dr. Moses Powell used to say, "Be tight inside." We used to have to be able to fight in your bathtub.
That's right. And the phone booth, baby.
Yeah, it's real. And Master Duncan, I remember him saying, may he rest in peace also. Master Duncan said, Simon, I respect the boxer because they have to be able to take a hit and come right back. And
that's right.
He used to say that. He said that in one of my last lectures that I produced with him and before he passed on. And that was real. It's real. And, people like you that keeps that spirit. And I'm so proud of what you're doing, my brother. You're a little bit younger than I am, but and more trained because I never went in for belts. I went in just to protect myself and get home safe. Mm-hmm. That's all I went to train and jump from people to people to get the basics. Like Dr. Powell told me at When Worlds Collide, he said, just master the basics, man. And keep it moving. It's not too much black because he said a good white belt can beat a black belt's ass.
That's right. Yeah.
That's what he said. I remember him saying.
Belts hold your pants up. You know what I'm saying? You get caught up in them colorful belts. Like some of my teachers told me that was so dope. He said back in my heyday there was no black belts. You trained with your white belt so much it became dirty and looked like a black belt.
That's right.
Bars. That's bars.
I was just looking at one of my ripped gi in my old dirty white belt. I was like, man, I had to put it in a box before I moved back to New York and stuff. I'm like, oh man, look at this. But it's real, and as much as we try to stay humble and respectful, social media has really brought out a lot of different things and a lot of people that tries to punk somebody else or bully. How do you feel about that? Because most of these young people or some people are getting bullied, a lot of snitches out there, a lot of stuff going on. But when you run up on them in their face, it's a different subject. They don't want to.
One thing I've always said about the internet is it gives everybody a voice. And back in my heyday, you had to fight to have a voice. Or you just stayed upstairs. Like you couldn't even come outside. That's right. So the internet has made it possible for everybody to have a voice, and when that happens, you're going to see the fools that talk and ain't really ready for that war, and they're going to say a lot of stuff. And but good training, for at least for a man, is one of the things is to work on your emotions, is to learn not just fighting, but learning how to fight yourself, because the true fight is you, not the person in front of you. If you can master the fight inside of you, very few people will be able to stand in front of you, and not every person that stands in front of you deserves a boo-bop. DS, I got a program coming out for the kids. It's called DAD, Defense and De-escalation.
Good.
It's the teaching that learn to use your words. Right. Learn to walk away. Not everything has to be done through your hands. Like you can diffuse most fights with your mouth, like by the words you say.
I've done that numerous times. Yes.
My teacher will always say the greatest fight ever fought was the one you didn't have to fight.
Right. So, I'm showing one of your videos, man. There it is. The young man look like he's getting it in, man.
Yeah, that's one of my youngins right there. Yeah. A little Africa right there.
Yeah, boy. He got that's good. That's good. That melanin is tight.
Yeah, boy, you turn off the lights, you won't even see him. You gonna get boo-bop all upside the cranium and all that.
So you said the youthful program. What's the name of the youth program again?
DAD.
Okay.
DAD, Defense and De-escalation. We're gonna be doing the webinar, bringing it to schools. Right. And focusing, you know, it's going to be for everybody, but my focus right now is on my young melanated warriors who didn't have what we had, which was the organic thing of being able to come outside, you know, take a loss, go upstairs, and maybe come back down and fight them again tomorrow. Like, you know, they don't have that anymore. Ain't no more outside. Everything is so much on the computer that they lost the organicness.
Yeah.
What a fight really is.
Right.
And, you know, and I always get these youngins like, yeah, like, I don't need 52 blocks. I got 52 Glocks. I said, well, that sounds good, but you're going to jail. And when you get up in there, you're going to still have to fight. And then you're going to be fighting for your manhood. Then you're going to be fighting for your manhood and your honey bun. It's going to be a whole different thing. So you can't escape being the man. You could try, but you can't escape being the man, brother.
Teach him. That's right. They think them Glocks and all that. You know, my father's a former Marine, and he never promoted guns to me. Never gave me a gun. It was either handwork. You won't have to do. You put that work in.
That's
you know, cousin. So you know, I'm showing your books now. You got some DVD and digital DVDs and 52 blocks books. That's the one I think I ordered on the cart. Yeah,
I just dropped a 52 block origin story. You know, that's on the site too. You want to learn the true origin story, how 52 blocks came from the boxes to the streets,
right,
to the 5%, and even through the time of uprocking, like uprocking,
right,
played the part in 52's fanciness and movements and stuff.
Oh, there it is. Right origin there. Right there. The origin. Right. Somebody just asked why 52.
It was the 5%ers. You know?
Yeah, that's what I knew. Yeah. Somebody asked it. 7 is the God number. And I think it was the name. It was just the name that stuck more than like, you know, Jailhouse Rock is a long name. And then it goes to the jail thing. You know, they used to call it the bum rush. I think 52 hand blocks is just the name that stuck and just made more sense. So I think that's really why that name really took over. And
when 5%ers were representing, like you got in a fight with one of those guys, they was 9 times out of 10 you was going to see the 52 for sure.
You heard the story about Rakim and LL?
Yeah, for sure. It's on the origin story. You know, I had to jack that story. He kept it real. He kept it very real. He kept it very real. That was true storytelling right there.
Yeah, he told it too. He took his hat off. He said he took his hat off. He did his thing, took his hat.
That's right. That was true storytelling. The deception, the defense, like that's the real 52. Is like people want to make it like, you know, like it's more offensive, and it wasn't about the offense. It was about the defense. That's what black men brought to boxing. That's what we brought to boxing. Boxing was on its way out. You know, it was a brutal art. But then when we came in, we introduced defense, and it became the sweet science. So people got to really recognize the power of defense. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a strong power in self-preservation.
I see you got some comic books looking things.
Yes, indeed. That one of those is titled after my daughter, Kelsey Sutton. It's about a young melanated queen who uses 52 blocks to, you know, she's kind of like a vigilante. So, you know, I had to throw that in there.
No, that's powerful, dog. Is your daughter into 52s?
Oh yeah, she grew up. My youngest grew up with it. You know, my oldest, she didn't catch it so much, but my youngest got that work. She got that work. She in college right now. And if you try to boo bop her, she's gonna show you who her father is. For sure.
And that's why it's so important for not just men to train, but women. Y'all, this is like, because remember we heard the story that Wing Chun was invented by a woman back in the day. That's what we heard that story. Is that story true from your perspective or no?
Nah, it's not. You know, I sat down with my teacher.
Okay, I just want to make sure. That's why I heard the story. That's why I said it. I preference it just like that. We heard the story.
Yeah, we heard the story.
Yeah, but go ahead. Tell me about that. What you heard about Wing Chun?
Well, even when you look up when you try to find, like, you know, one thing about Chinese history is it goes back pretty far. Like they kept some records, and you can't find her nowhere in the records. Like Long John, the man who came up with the 40-point system, Money Changer Wah. Like these people were real people. Like you can find their birth dates and death dates. This so-called woman, there's no such thing. She was like a myth. But what it was the Red Opera Factory, which was the Chinese men on boats that did those type of shows, and they would going between the shows. They would practice this game where they would, lock their knees together because they were on the boat, which was the goat clamper stamps that most people know. And it was almost like who can touch each other. And it developed into this sensitivity arm thing that went on to become Wing Chun itself, which makes a lot more sense. And to me, Wing Chun, the only thing that really I would credit to any type of fighting is Chi Sao. All of that other stuff is a bunch of nonsense that, we over here in America, we throw punches, boo-bops way different. You try to Quan Sao or boo-bop if you want to. You try that hand there, that offering hand, and you're going to be offering something to God. It's going to be your spirit, So, that's not going to work over here. And it's just because we're different. And then we're built different. The Mandingo man is built very different from the Chinese man. So, but Chi Sao, the art of sticky arm, that in grappling, in close grappling, that can work. That works. I've used it. I've used it against boxers. I've tied boxers up and, bopped them all up, and they was confused. And that was just really my sticky arm training that allowed me to have that level of game on the inside grappling. So, and I was the Chi Sao champion 2 years in a row. Let me throw that up there just for anybody who don't think your boy got down. I was throwing them Chinese men fortune cookies flying everywhere.
I was watching the video. I was just about to mention that. I was just about to mention that.
I did it. I did it. And standing on a small table. They had us on the table. First person pushed off the table lost. So I was there. I did it.
So that whole concept that they do on Ip Man is real true.
Yeah, they did it real for the tournament. Yes. A small table too. It was a little square table, and I was up there pushing them Chinese people off like they was getting mad at me. Boy, they got mad. And my teacher Roberto Sharp, Rastafari, they couldn't believe, like, you're the teacher, Rasta. Yeah, that's my student up there beating up all your students. Yeah. Salute to Roberto Sharp. Salute to Wilson Pitts, two of the greatest teachers I've ever met. They are the true creators of Lyte Burly. Without them, there would be no Lyte Burly.
Wow. We almost up to the top of the hour, brother. Man, I definitely want to thank you, man, for coming on. Man, there's so much that we could exhibit and talk about, but I'm not gonna get anybody up in their emotions. So that's not what this channel's about.
But I appreciate you for having me, because, like I said, I am one of those hot button martial artists that a lot of people may not give me a stage because they may feel that I've said something to ruffle their feelings or feathers, but I'm only speaking from a place of love for my melanated warriors, because I can say this about the other races of men. They getting it in.
Yeah.
They're getting it in.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think about that? Because I see, the white guys. I sent you a video with the white guy doing his thing. What do you think about them taking and creating their own little, especially in Krav Maga, and the other guys are doing their own thing, and it looking like 52, but they're not gonna call it 52.
Yeah. Well, one thing, I've been to the UK. I got students out there. I have trained the less melanated men, as I call them, and one thing I've always tell them is that this is Black excellence. So they accept it as that. And they train with that in mind, to always give credit to the melanated, just like you give credit to the Chinese man for Kung Fu.
Right.
The Muay Thai man, they get all of their credit. So long as we get our credit, I have no problem with the art being shared. Like, a lot of people say, oh, they're going to steal it. Not if it's shared by us. Now, if we don't share it and they take it and go do a movie and nobody never knew it was us, then that's a problem. But right now, because of the timestamps and the way the internet works, there's really no way that can happen. You can go back and see the men that made this art what it is. And as long as our credit is given, I feel no way about another race of man using it.
And I'm thankful to people like Ronoko Rashidi, who went to Asia and found the melanated Asians that was doing it. And then people like Mfundishi that seen it on the wall, but they won't. Their job is not to tell you that. It's for you to go and tell your people.
You got to go. Yeah, you got to do your own study. That's right. That's right. You know, even the Indian man that started Kung Fu, he was a melanated man. You know what I'm saying? That was a melanated man, like, you know, that started the 5 animal systems of Kung Fu. So, like, you know, you have to know we definitely had a part in Kung Fu, but we also give credit to the Chinese man who had to fight the Mongols. You know, like Genghis Khan didn't like China. He said it wasn't good enough to graze his horses. He wanted to eliminate all of them. So I give respect that they had to come up with crane fighting to defend their land. So we give them credit. We give every man credit for their systems, and just like that, the melanated man, American melanated man, will get credit for 52 blocks. Not saying that the source isn't always Africa and the motherland, but we don't want to skip over the American.
Of course, you can't.
Melanated man who really put in that work for 50.
Put in that work. Yeah, and big up to the indigenous ones right here, the foundational ones right here, man, throughout the whole Western Hemisphere. You know, because these are all the Americas, man, from Canada all the way down to the Caribbean, man. These are all the Americas, man. And we've been doing work even, you know, differently than they was doing work over there. So, man, I'm proud of this is a good time to live in. I don't care what people are saying. I don't watch too much of that crazy. Yeah, I'm not watching none of that crazy news and all that they trying to pull us into their drama. We got a 52 block that.
That's right. Block that. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? 52 block that. Facts.
Exactly.
Facts.
Because I'm a numerologist, and when you add that 52 to that 7 is a mental number, but it's telling you to protect your mental also.
Yes.
You know, the 5 represents freedom and adaptability. 2 represents compassion and love and balance. So you're bringing those 2 to add up to that number 7. 7 is God, but 7 is telling you to reflect God, but also monitor and protect your mind at a higher level.
That's right.
From a numerology perspective.
Yes. Well, my brother Tyrain, salute to my brother Tyrain, ATL Burly. They're part of the DAD program. And Tyrain is going to be teaching numerology. You know, ATL is going to be giving them through the exercise, and I'm gonna give them the science.
Man, so, if y'all need me, you let me know. I'll be here.
We definitely gonna reach out
anytime. I'm in and out of Atlanta. My children is in Atlanta, so I'm back in and out of Atlanta. So, man, I would love to be a part of that, man. Anytime I'm dealing with the youth, I'm there because it helps to motivate them. You know. So, brother Lyte Burly, man, you have been definitely a pleasurable interview.
I try.
I love all that you're doing, man. You ain't got me all in emotion, so I'm cool.
Thank you.
I'm just one of those people like call people behind the scenes and say, "Yo, bro, what do you mean?" And you explain it, and I can respect it. You gotta respect another person's idea. And like Delbert Blair used to say, there is no truth until you decide what truth is. And that is your truth. That is your truth. And let me give you a well-deserved round of applause. Love and respect, man, and please, man, keep in contact. I'm definitely going to books because I get everybody's books, and I respect you immensely, man. Let me know if you need anything, if you want to promote something. Let me know if you got any seminars coming up. Let me know, man, because that's what I do.
Got a seminar coming up in Italy. I'm heading to Italy, and then after Italy, we're going to Belize. And out there, we got the mayor involved
on the world tour.
Yeah, we're going on the world tour, international Burly.
Lordy,
Lordy is going on. It's going international. Oh Lordy, let's work.
Go back in the day, we used to hear "Oh Lordy, Miss Claudie."
Well, now you know what that was the saying back in the Queens. We never something like "Oh Lordy," here we come with that nonsense. So salute to my brothers that I jacked that from it and brought a little fame to it, especially Boo Bops and Molly Wops.
Boo Bops and Molly Wops. Yeah, Boo Bops and Molly Wops.
Boo Bops and Molly Wops.
Everything, but that's the nostalgia you bring back. For us old school heads that know that stuff, you know what I'm saying? Those old sayings, man. So, man, appreciate you, man. Again, family, show them some love on Cash App. That's $ Jamal R. Clark. If you can't do that, then go to his website. Let me show y'all his website again. Let me not play games. Show the man's website. I've been showing it before. So please show him love. He got books. He got, classes. He got product. He got merch. He got all of that, man. He got a hat. Definitely, you got to go scroll through all of it. Let's go to the homepage. I think that's the homepage, if I'm not sure. But it tells you who he is. It breaks down what is 52 blocks and all of that. He show you classes, DVD, digital access. All of that is in his website, man. LyteBurly.com.
And I got my music up there before.
Oh, you got music too? Okay.
Yeah, before I was a scrapper, I was a rapper. I was signed to Wu-Tang Records, Razor Sharp Sony. So I got my songs out there. I'm about to drop a whole new CD, you know, old ass rappers, we up.
We coming up again. Coming up.
Yeah. And this year, you know, salute to my brother Diallo Frazier, because he was 4 days away from being the first practitioner to be 52 years old doing 52. And he was 4 days shy of it. So rest in peace, rest in power, my brother. But this year, July 20th, I will be the first. I will be 52 doing 52. There will be a 52 party barbecue. We're going to invite you, my brother.
Definitely. Where you live now? Where you living at?
Oh, I'm in Texas right now, but we plan to do that in New York. Yeah,
okay, I have family in Texas. I have family out here, man. Jimmy Cliff's son live in Texas, a good friend of mine. So I can come out there. But if you're doing it in New York,
we're going to do it in New York. We got to take it back to Brooklyn, Queens, baby. We got to take it back home for that. Yeah, so it's going to be real big. 52 doing 52. I'm excited.
Man, so wait a minute. You're the first 51 who reached the age of 52?
Yes, to be doing 52.
So wait a minute, nobody else reached that age?
No, well, you know, Sensei Mo he's in the 60s and stuff.
Yeah.
And Brother D, I would say Rod would have done it, but I don't even think Rod was. I think Rod was older when we first.
Okay.
I think Rod was about 53 when we first started.
Wow.
52, like when we brought it to the internet. So he just was off by a year. So I'm gonna be the first well-known practitioner to make that milestone. And
man, whatever you're doing, man, keep on doing it, man, and do it till you're satisfied. Whatever it is, you gotta do it. Man, enough respect to you, man. Take care. Thank you very much for coming on, my brother. Thank you, man.
I appreciate you for giving me the stage, my brother.
Man, I love it, man. You're a fun interview, so I'm gonna bring you back up anytime, man. All right. All right. Peace and love. Salute.
Peace
man, that's our brother Lyte Burly, man. Wow, let's give him another well-deserved round of applause, man. That brother there. Gotta give it to him, man. Gotta give it to these brothers, man. They're keeping up that work, man. It's not easy, man, doing this work. And, I love what he's doing. Support his website. The brother's a genuine brother. And, again, all you martial artists that's watching me in boxes and all that, he don't mean nothing by it. He just wants people to make sure whatever you're doing on them streets, it's about surviving and being real and telling these young people, you can teach children the way you want to teach them until they get a certain age, but they got to know that the streets are different. It is different. I've been attacked by hypodermic needles, crackheads. Believe me, it's a different fight on them streets. I've been there, and I got marks and bruises to show you too. So I love what he's doing, man. Thank him again, man. He's a genuine gem in our community of the 52, training people like Jonathan Majors and other people, and working with Diallo Frazier before he passed on, and all of that stuff, and taking working with Luda and all the rest of them. Man, that's what we're supposed to be doing, sharing, because each one teach one. That's what they call it. Each one teach one, for real. And man, thanks to all my teachers, GM Anthony Muhammad, they call him Doc Aziz Muhammad, his brother, Sean Wayne. Thank you, Brother Wayne, man. You rest in peace, my brother. You definitely was a genuine one. Beat us up in he beat us up in Prospect Park. He'll beat us up in Fort Greene Park. He beat us up on Spike Lee set. He beat us up in the dojo. He almost gave me a brain aneurysm in the dojo back in the day when Worlds Collide at a demo. Sean Wayne, short little dude, but he was dangerous. His hands were fast. Dr. Powell's information. I never really trained with Dr. Powell, but me and him always had great conversation while we was getting our hair cut over there when Worlds Collide. Professor V, I've got to talk to him and shake hands with him twice, but never trained with him because you had to be a certain black belt status at those times to get those trainings. So I'm not afraid to tell you. I'm not going to say I trained with Dr. Powell or I trained with this. No, but he had a good conversational trainer with me because he knew I was in the clubs. I was a reggae artist. He says, yo, you already got the weapons, not just your hands and your feet and everything else. Doc told me, yo, my microphone was also a weapon. And it has proven I had to defend myself with my microphone one time in a nightclub at Temptation. So I never forget that. So, you know, those little nuances, even if it's just information, Master Duncan and all of that, you know, and all the great Osei, Professor Bill, definitely, Hanshi Khalik, and, you know, who's given me some training. And of course, Little John used to come and take over, and at the late great Battles, Adam Battles, man, who used to be security over CCC over here in Brooklyn, just passed on. And, you know, Asaze, I don't know where he is. He disappeared. Sensei Omar in Canada, Sensei Michael McNay in Canada. I was studying Arnis stick fighting under him, and Shotokan. You know, he was a student of Remy Presas, Arnis practitioner from out of the Philippines. So, man, I thank all these great brothers and sisters that are keeping it going. Zahelia, of course, she's having her thing, and I'm definitely working on getting out there, even if I have to take the Greyhound bus. If I can't fly, I'll take the Greyhound bus to go and check out my sister, because this is the first one, and I think our sister needs support for her first one, you know. And, you know, brother's been doing seminars and workshops and all that for years, you know. But when our sisters doing their thing, you got to show them love. You know, got to show them love. Thank you very much, Tech, for a great conversation. Thank you very much. And also, yes, very illicit career. Yeah, very illicit career. Yeah, man. Anthony Muhammad, GM Anthony, was a part of the Ninja Turtle franchise, training them in martial arts. When you seen the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, one of my teachers was one of their trainers. So, you know, doing their thing. So big up to GM Anthony. His name is now Dr. Abdul Aziz Muhammad, and his wife is Aziza Muhammad. Enough respect to them over there in Chicago. The assistant captain in the Nation of Islam over there, and official trainer of the FOI over there. So big up to them. Big up to all the family. Big up to all of you. Remember, get your training on. Most of all, when it comes to martial arts, it's not just about the fight. It's about the mental, the mind. The art of war even taught that. It's better to not shed blood. It's always about being able to talk a person down or talk a situations down. You know, get out of the situation. So those that are training, whether it's Tai Chi, Qigong, boxing, karate, you know, Shotokan, Aiki, Jiu-Jitsu, whatever you study it. Just remember, it's all here, you know, it's all right here. And then you got to learn how to blend that mind with the physicality of it all, and make sure you find balance, you know, because I wouldn't be here at this time if I would have just submitted to a crackhead trying to take me out, or a hypodermic needle attack and all that kind of stuff. And I wouldn't be here now, you know, if I didn't understand the mind and the body, how it works. And I thank all my teachers for what I learned from every one of them, verbally, physically, through videotapes, well, now that they're gone, whatever. And people like Lyte Burly, I learned from people like Master Mo, people like David James, Professor David James, all of them from VJ, V Arnis, all of the family out there, man, that's in any of the systems of Sanukas, Ru Jiu-Jitsu. Big up to all of y'all in any systems. I love y'all. I respect y'all. And boxing, all of that. Keep up the footwork. Keep up what you do. I watch the boxers too. I pay attention to Tank. I pay attention to Crawford. I pay attention to the female boxers. I pay attention to the male boxers. I pay attention to the female martial artists, the male martial artists. I pay attention to all of them. You know, thank you all for what you've done. I'd like to close out like Dr. B would say. I just finished talking to him on another show. I'll be bringing him on this week to promote the event that they're coming up. So we're just trying to settle a date. Dr. B always close one of my shows with, I forgive myself, my family, and others for imperfection, and I am thankful for my life. Let me close out with Dr. Blair's prayers. Please, Universal Creator, Know in my heart that I love you. Please protect me and this planet on which I live now. Please open up my mind, my spirit, and my soul to receive only truth and your love now. Thank you very much, Dr. Blair, for all that you shared. He just celebrated a birthday. His birthday was the same day as the 52 block master, the one, the only Diallo Frazier, too, February 13th. They born the same day. Interesting enough, Freedom Williams born the same day. Dr. Blair was born the same day. Very deep people, very deep with their mind strength. So enough respect to them. Family, have a great day, afternoon, and evening. Keep on watching, keep on sharing, and tell people that, yo, 52 blocks is a real defense mechanism out here in these streets. It's good to learn it online or any way you can. Have a great day, afternoon, or evening. And remember, I love you because I love me. You have been watching King Simon Presents Only Quality People with my man, oh Lordy. Let's talk with Lyte Burly. First time on my channel. Don't forget, tomorrow we have Monique Nicholas coming in to play with the conversation right here. Monique, we're going to be talking about keeping the legacy alive and moving forward. And on the 18th, next Wednesday, we have the one, the only Sensei Nathan Ingram. First time on King Simon Presents on YouTube. Respecting the gift of life in the martial arts. I have his book. I'm going through that. I'm going to be reading and gauging more information through that. And please join my membership and go ahead and listen to my audiobook. It's about four hours long, my audiobook. I actually listened to it after I uploaded it. I listened to it while I was going to bed, and I went to bed with it because my son, Prince Imagine, who was also the co-producer with me, he put some nice binary frequency behind my voice as I was talking about numbers and all that. So this whole book is being read. So you could read along. It has the different phases. You'll see the phases, and you'll hear the phases transitioning from phase to phase. But I might re-upload it again so you can go straight to particular phase. But I say just listen to the whole thing, man. 4 hours before you go to bed or when you're waking up or whatever you're doing at your job, you can listen to my audio book right now on KSP TV Media membership. Go ahead. Join my membership. I think that membership, that third level of the membership is $19.99. But if you join the $19.99, you have access to all of the videos on there. So, but that particular one is $19.99 and that's an exclusive. It says Numerovation audiobook. That's what it says. Numerovation audiobook in my membership right now. So join my membership. Join my membership. Let me put, matter of fact, let me put that in. Let me put it in the chat. So if y'all want to put it in the chat, I could put it in the chat for you right now. The links, I could put it in the chat for you right now. Where is it at? Where's my darn thing at? Hold on a second. I know I'm supposed to big up to Phyllis Yvonne Stickney. She was on. And make sure you support her. Oh, my goodness. What a beautiful sister. Her and I spoke for another hour and a half today. Man, what story she has to tell on them stages, man. Y'all need to support Phyllis. Phyllis will be in Manhattan. Make sure y'all support Phyllis Yvonne Stickney. I will definitely be there. I'm trying to come for both nights. Might take two different people for both nights. Hey, I like variety, I guess. It's friends, they're just friends. So February 27th, February 28th, that's what we're looking at. So make sure we support Phyllis Yvonne Stickney. That's happening on February 27th and February 28th. Also, if you're into martial arts, March 8th, we're doing this at 551 Grand Street, Lower East Side, Manhattan. Is the Deadly Arts of Survival. Make sure you go to call that number for more information. Be a spectator or be on the mat, have some fun. And then in April, A Day with the Masters Hall of Greatness and Legacy continues April 4th at the Akbar Hall at 1174 Bedford Avenue in Brooklyn. And then again, we are going to see our dear sister, Professor Zahalia. Contact or scan that QR code, get some of that information, and boom, make sure you support her. That's June 27th. That's a Saturday. I'm trying to get there for at least a good week. So I never experienced Long Beach in my life, so I want to be able to experience it. You know what I'm saying? And of course, get my children's books. Get all of my books on Amazon, or go to my Linktree /King Simon the Numerovator. Get all of my books. And again, you could take my course on Udemy if you want to learn the basics of numerovation, something that I created and formed from after studying numerology and other systems for many years. You can go to udemy.com/course holistic-numerovation. I'm the only one teaching numerovation in the world from my perspective. Numerology is different. Astronumerology, analytics, all of that stuff. Numerovation is a word that I created and put in the lexicon dictionary as it's still building. Its algorithm is already in there, submitted. Everything is good. You know, so much respect to that. If you want to advertise with me, please, by all means, text me your full name and date of birth. I got a great rate going on. If you do want to book a session with me, text me your full name, date of birth, and email to 347-496-1022. Right now, I have 50% discount for 30-minute sessions right now. 50% discount all the way until February the 18th. So you got a few more days left. If you want to get that February the 18th, 50% discount. Then it goes back to the regular rate. All right. Big up to Lloyd Strayhorn, Lloyd-Strayhorn.com. Shout him out. Enough love to him. And big up to my son who actually did the audiobook for me. Finally got to upload it. Green Studio NYC. If you want your audiobooks done or whatever, he can help you with productions, artist development, podcasting, breathing techniques, all of that he can help you with. He's good at what he does. And of course, a shout out to Nicholas Brooklyn, Nicholas Cultural. Make sure you go to their website, www.nicholasbrooklyn.com. Make sure you support their GoFundMe. And remember, if you're going to buy anything, the discount code online is 10%. That's the name. Discount code is called 10%. And make sure you tell them that King Simon sent you when you go over there, or take that flyer over there and get a 10% discount. Also, remember, disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters or its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Thank you very much. Take care. Be safe. One love.